was the one orca, which originally was called the Warlock, was a boat that was purchased by Joe Alves, the production designer, and he chose the boat. And I liked the boat a lot, but I didn't think it didn't have enough character to it. And Joe agreed, and Joe actually replaced the entire wheelhouse with one of his own design with larger windows, because the windows were too small, and Joe and I both wanted larger windows so we could see out. So everywhere you were inside the boat, the ocean was breathing down your neck, rather than looking through a small porthole and saying, well, the ocean is sort of like that could have been a process shot. So I wanted really big windows in the wheelhouse, in the main cabin, and Joe kind of reconfigured the boat to give it a little more personality, squared off a little bit more than the original boat we bought was.
We were shooting about, 75 yards, I'm really not sure, off the coast of Chappaquiddick Island. Robert, Roy, myself, Freddie Zendar, the boat wrangler, and an ancient sound man with a Nagra.
And what happened was we were pulling one of the barrels away from the boat. They had put a little eye hook into one of the boards just below the surface, just below the waterline, like a shiv. So the rope would go through the shiv, and it would seem to pull the barrel toward the orca, as if the shark was heading toward the orca. The problem was the motorboat went so fast, it pulled the shiv and the planking out from the hull of the orca, and of course the water rushed in.
And we started to sink. No kidding. No kidding. Water started rushing onto the boat. Freddie Zendar jumps up from the hold, cursing and screaming in Austrian, and starts to power the boat as fast as he could toward the beach of Chappaquiddick Island, hoping to be able to ground the boat before it sinks, and we have no orca. There's only one orca. In the meantime, we're in 6-foot swells, and Steven Spielberg is trying to send safety boats to get us transferred off the boat. Get the actors off the boat! Get the actors off the boat!
I remember John Carter, who won an Academy Award, by the way, for Best Sound for Jaws. He picked up the Niagara. He was on the boat and held over his head and said, "The actors saved the sound department." And I had this image to this day of John sinking, holding the Niagara over his head, the water up to John's ankles, up to his knees, boat scrambling to pull everybody off the sinking orca, and John with his Niagara going under.
There was a certain level of executive indifference to the sound department's lifespan. Get the actors off the boat!
We had lost the camera. The camera was on the boat too. It went underwater. And Bill Butler said, in a sense, the developing solution we use is a saline solution. And I think this film's going to be okay if we can rush it to the lab.
We got on an airplane with a bucket of water and the film in it and took it to New York and developed it and didn't lose a foot.